Play.
Welcome back to Let's Play Ace Combat 6.
At last our day has come. Initiate Operation Free Gracemeria. All forces advance into the capital. Enemy forces have thoroughly besieged Gracemeria. I'm sure we'll be running into some heavy resistance. This is the last battle. Let's win this thing and go home.
This is the last battle, 13 missions into a 15-mission game.
Hey, spoilers, man.
But, oh my god, look at all these operations that we have to clear.
It's almost like you're fighting a huge war.
I was about to say, when the operations went up into the sky, I was like, oh, we even have an air war. Then I realized, wait, fuck. We're fucking playing Ace Combat. Of course there's an air war.
Yep. Although, funnily enough, in Ace Combat 6, it's more a ground-focused game than anything.
What? It's a game about planes.
Yeah, and most, like, 90% of the missions are you just bombing the shit out of stuff.
Oh. So it's not dog fighting.
Not purely.
Not purely. We'll be getting to that. But right now I've got to sell a bunch of shit because I'm poor. And I'm going to make a really dumb choice here in a second.
Oh boy.
So it's like, I have all these fantastic planes I can take into this mission. And, like an idiot, I decide that I want to take the Typhoon.
Good job, Crow.
Thank you, Serve.
It's a plane.
Yep, I know. This is what I get for trying to show off Ace Combat 6's entire roster over the course of the LP.
You're not meant to do this.
Oh god, no.
No.
Like, the thing is, the Typhoon unlocks once you get to Liberation of Gracemeria, but it is not the plane you want to take into Liberation of Gracemeria. Like, it's got absolutely terrible ground attack options. Pretty good for air-to-air, but as you can see, like, there's only 2 real air-to-air missions in the game. So it's like, yeah, no, like...
It's like whatever the final pistol in Resident Evil 4 is. One of them is it's like apparently completely outclassed.
Yeah, basically, like, the plane you want to be taking into this is, like, the F-22, but the F-22 unlocks after you beat the mission.
Take them all!
Also, nice little bit of continuity there with Shamrock being a dickhead.
So when do you unlock the X-Wing?
You gotta beat the game like 3 times.
What about the Outrider?
No, that's DLC. They took that down.
Enemy's got a SAM locked on!
So, Crow, you're gonna do the final mission with an Idolmaster plane, right?
How many times do I have to say I don't have any of the Idolmaster planes? I never did. Like, I don't think anyone had an Idolmaster plane except all the desperate losers who played online.
I don't know, man. You figure it out. Life finds a way, you know? Gotta go dance with the idols at least once, you know?
I'm not sure Jurassic Park quotes are applicable.
Well, you remember there was the Tekken planes in Assault Horizon.
They also made it into Infinity.
Oh god, yeah.
They weren't very good.
No.
There were also the Nintendo planes in whatever the 3DS one was.
Oh yeah, in Assault Horizon Legacy, yeah, those were amazing.
Those were only in the Legacy Plus version, not the original, though.
Probably, yeah. Like, I don't know if, like, it was only the Amiibo planes that were in Legacy Plus, or what.
Yeah, it was the
that
Amiibo
motion
planes.
blur, sorry. It's like the camera just on a swivel.
Oh yeah, like, the camera in this game, if you're doing, like, air-to-air stuff, is fantastic, but,
These quick turns back. Today in class, I spent time learning how to use professional-grade broadcast camera equipment, and
nice.
Had I done any, like, recordings and stuff like that I would have given, my viewers whiplash like that. Good lord.
So yeah, this is how terrible using the rockets is. I have to resort to using the gun camera view.
So are any of the Ace Combat games actually good?
Oh god, yeah, like...
Oh, then I guess I keep getting brought for all the bad ones.
Not necessarily, because, like, I've, like, had this conversation, like, in the thread and with other people doing commentary and stuff, like, gameplay-wise, 6 is fantastic, it's just... In the story sections, it's where it just completely shits the bed.
Yeah.
What's not a story section? Are there extra missions or something?
The problem here is that, like, half the story is pretty much buried underneath, like, all the assault records, which most of the players aren't even gonna take a second glance at, so, yeah.
And, yeah, like, the actual story, like, in between the cutscenes is basically... focused on this one random housewife who has near zero relevance to the plot, and the game decides, to follow her across the entirety of the story.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but,
It's like, it pays off in the end, kind of, but it's like, if you have to go through, like, 6 hours worth of gameplay and story to get a 3-second payoff, you have written a very bad story.
Yeah, it seems to me like they were trying too hard to replicate what made 5's cutscenes actually good.
Or what made 4's story actually good.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's elements of 4 scattered all across 6, but it's like, they took all the wrong lessons from it, so it's like, they're like, oh yeah, we'll tell this, up-close and personal human story about how war affects people, without realizing, okay, shit, how do we actually connect this to the main gameplay thing?
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's a lot of just air-to-ground stuff. You think you'd be using a bomber.
Again, I made a very dumb choice in this mission, and I'm sticking to it.
Commencing full rocket fire. Nice kill.
Oh, jeez. You're very close to the ground here.
Oh yeah, like, and rip those poor pilots trying to take off there.
Pretty much.
About 60% of their firepower.
Reminds me of trying to play Arma 3. Actually, I've never tried to pilot a jet. But basically, once you get into the jets, you don't get out of the jets, because you can't land.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you can land, but it requires way more skill than I could possibly imagine. Because don't forget, Arma's despite being very silly, it is still billed as a sim.
Could be worse. It could be DCS, where you have to, like, actually map all the controls of your aircraft.
You know, I actually bought DCS A10 for... the intent was to give it to my dad because the A10 is his favorite plane. But he never had a Steam account or a computer to run it, so it's still just sitting in my inventory. I bought it about 5 years ago.
Good job.
Well,
He doesn't have a computer to run it because his computer is literal shit.
To be fair, like, there's enough controls in there that you basically need, like, a full-on,
Steel Battalion
throttle and
deck.
joysticks, yeah.
no, give me Call of Duty where you can just, like, hop in a jet, pilot it halfway across the map, jump out of it, shoot someone with your gun, and then jump back into it while it's still in motion.
That's
Battlefield,
not Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's Battlefield.
Call of Duty
whatever.
Call of Duty plane segments are literally just rail shooters.
Yeah, there's never any planes in Call of Duty that I know of. I don't exactly claim to know very much about it, but Battlefield, yeah, you can definitely do some stupid shit like that.
Alright, yeah.
But yeah, notice how long it took for, like, some actual meaningful enemy air resistance to show up here.
I guess.
Because yeah, like, a lot of these operations are done, like, sort of in waves, where, like, if you, like, take out all the red targets, then it'll spawn in another wave of red targets,
Yeah.
and,
This is basically what all the missions in Infinity are based off of, except, you know, with much less story.
Watch out! The enemy has a lock on you!
and, like, really, like, what's going on here is, like, we've got, like, a bunch of ground units down there where we're supposed to be providing air cover for them as they approach the air base to take it back over. And so, like, if, okay, so yeah, we just cleared this operation, but yeah, like, if, we were providing, like, shitty cover for them, and they, like, came against, like, actual, like, enemies on the ground, like, there's a good chance that they all could die.
Nice work, Steel Gunners! You earned this victory!
And now, because we've got our runway back, we can now actually land at it and resupply, and repair the plane.
Can you change planes?
Sadly, no. Once you pick a plane for a mission, you're stuck with it.
But yeah, this mission is long enough that you basically are going to need to resupply several times. I think this is the only Ace combat that does it this blatantly.
There's a couple in 4 that basically, like, make sure, like, in the briefing to basically say, yeah, no, you're going to have to go back and resupply. But yeah, no, 6 is basically where, like, this comes to a head in a way.
Yeah, like, this is one where, like, no matter what the difficulty, you cannot do it all on, like, one set of ammo. Full stop.
And, like,
How
Again,
do they
like,
have? How do they fit 230 missiles onto that plane?
Don't
That
worry
plane,
about it.
that plane
Yeah.
should weigh more than like 5 planes.
yeah, don't worry about it.
How are we flying? I am worried about it.
The answer is nanomachines, son.
It's
That's not the.
something's...
Are they nano-sized missiles?
It's something Belkin engineering.
Pretty much.
Okay, so yeah, here's the first of our air-to-air missions where we've got to take out these
Oh
these
Jesus!
EA-200s. Yeah. So yeah, doing these ones and, like, clearing these ones will get your your air allies freed up, so you can, like, call them in and do allied attacks on stuff and whatnot.
You really like blowing up the planes like when you're 2 feet from them, don't you?
Oh god, yeah, because when you blow them up like that, they suddenly lose their hitboxes and you can fly through them.
Yep. That's been consistent in all the Ace combats so far.
I guess that's helpful. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like playing Rogue Squadron where you blow up a TIE fighter, it flies right at you, hits you head on, and you blow up. Battle of Endor, fucking Rogue Leader. That mission is so hard. 3 lives is not enough.
Box 3.
Try playing, like, the actual X-Wing Alliance version of the Battle of Endor. That thing is insane. Like, you get to fly the Millennium Falcon for that one, so that was amazing.
That's cool. You do get to fly the Millennium Falcon in Mission 10 on Rogue Leader as you go into the Death Star.
Oh, nice.
Or, well, I guess you can. It's an unlockable after. Because normally
like-
you just fly the X-Wing for it.
Like, I do appreciate that, like, LucasArts and, like, even in their, like, video game universe, they tried to make sure that everything was consistent. That, like, there wasn't really that much of, like, continuity, like, gaps or, contradictions between, like, different... Like, when different installments would take on the same events. Like, you know how, like what I did with Shadows of the Empire, where, like, you've got the Imperial Freighter Saprosa mission, and then that same mission shows up in X-Wing Alliance. and it like curbs the dialogue right from both the. Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Nice wing clip there, buddy.
But yeah, no, it takes the dialogue from both the N64 version and the novel of Shadows of the Empire for the X-Wing Alliance one. Like, God, I miss when games did that.
Missile struck target.
I really liked Rogue Leader. Or no, Rebel Strike. Rebel Strike. I liked both of them, honestly. I know Rebel Strike's not as good, but I think some of its plane or its space fighting segments are better than Rogue Leader in some ways.
Oh, nice.
It's got a lot of fun,
Yeah, no,
fun missions. Except there's also a lot of, well, I'm on the ground, or, well, I'm not flying. I'm riding a bike. I'm Luke Skywalker. I don't fly planes any longer.
Man, look at all those contrails. Alex Jones must be popping a boner right now.
Oh God, yeah. It's like, yeah, great. There's something I have to imagine now,
Oh,
sir. What the?
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What is? Yeah. What is Strange Reel's Alex Jones like, and why does he have a huge boner right now?
Airplanes.
Pretty much, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if an Alex Jones-like ends up showing up in Ace Combat 7 of all places. Considering these games seem to be extremely on point with whatever the current world events are at the time.
He's probably not important enough.
Yeah.
I don't know how to thank you for all your help.
I like how I agreed with both of you there in the span of like 30 seconds.
I want you to meet
You're just very agreeable.
my daughter, Jessica. Today's the
Also,
day we get
pay attention to that plot drop for the next mission.
Assume mission formation.
So, as you can kind of tell by the crossfade and the fact that the music has gone back to the very quiet intro part.
Did you die?
No, I didn't die. I'm literally stitching together every single operation for this one, so this is the reason why the video is an hour long.
You know, why? Sometimes I sit and I wonder why, you know, I don't really watch, like, TV and stuff on Netflix that often, and then I realize it's like, oh right, because I'm involved in LP projects that last half hour or more. I'm basically watching TV right now, except I'm also talking over it, because that's an idea.
Well, I'm sorry you couldn't watch your anime tonight, FP.
Yeah, sure.
Ready on our shores.
What anime are you not watching right now?
None, actually. I know, it's pretty surprising.
Yeah. You're too busy punching everybody in the face with an arm cannon.
Yep. Good game. Very good game.
Yeah.
Commencing full rocket fire.
Enjoy the really shitty boss late in the game.
Noted. I wasn't... Real talk, I wasn't expecting Metroid to be so, like, counter-heavy, but it just works. Like,
Some people aren't so happy with it, saying it slows down the combat, but there's plenty of ways to keep it going fast,
it
honestly.
feels so satisfying, though. Like, Samus bitch slaps the planet is an idea I can get behind.
I've got lock on.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm running through on hard mode now.
Watch out for that missile, Garuda 1.
So, I guess this was a question that I guess was posed, or kind of in a way. Also, watch this drive. But yeah, like this was like
This one tank was very important.
yeah.
Like, fuck you in particular.
Well, that's what happens if you hold down the fire button. You can actually like track your missiles and bombs all the way to their targets. But it also means that you have to be like you know, flying nowhere near the ground when you do it, because like I've crashed a bunch of times doing that. Because you're still in control
pilot's
of the
just
plane.
like peeking out the window at the missile going by. Wow, look at that ball! He just crashed into a mountain.
Basically, yeah.
Imagine if Ace Combat 7 allows for, like, cockpit selfies.
Oh,
That
God.
would be the stupidest shit ever.
Why would it allow for that?
Well, Assault Horizon was built around QuickTime events. I'm not making that up.
Okay.
Yeah, it was straight up an attempt to like cater to the Call of Duty crowd,
Nice.
with all the implications that entails.
Yeah, and it pissed off the fan base so much that it damn near killed the franchise.
Incredible.
Also, and
What were you trying to say a little bit ago, Crow, before we went into the tactical cam for explosions?
about this was kind of fronted in the Metroid like Samus Returns LP thread that's just cropped up lately, but
Oh yeah.
like do you think that like part of the reason why that AMR2 or AM2R got C&D'd by Nintendo was because they were working on like Samus Returns, or
I think so.
Yeah.
The reason, like, there were two prominent projects taken down at the same time. You had AM2R taken down, and you had Uranium taken down. Now, sure, Uranium's not as good quality, but the point is, they had a Pokemon game coming out. They always have a Pokemon game coming out.
Not
It
only
basically
that, but
got too popular, I'd say, or too well known, and I'd say, yeah, that's what caused it. Now, AM2R, I think in both cases, you probably, they knew about them. AM2R has been in development, was in development for like 10 years. They knew about it. It's not like a secret. Hell, they even let the game come out. Like, they at any time could have said, hey, stop this and don't release it. The game came out, he was even able to update. They didn't take it down for like a month after. Or 2 weeks to a month or something like that. I think, yeah, they probably definitely took it down because they had this game in development. But
yeah.
if they didn't want people to have the ability to play it, they would have taken it down sooner. They would have taken it out before anything even happened. I mean, hell, you could say the same about Uranium, quality or not.
Yeah, the thing people don't get about Nintendo is that they're actually not as arbitrary as they seem. Uranium got taken out because Sun and Moon were coming out around the same time, and also the developers of Uranium were like not really all that big on what Sun and Moon was, and like they were kind of egging on the whole like comparison, trying to compete thing. So that probably pissed someone off at Nintendo.
I mean, I don't think that would be enough to do it. I think it's just straight up that, they were making, there was a new game coming out. This game got really popular online. It's probably a matter of like search results and stuff like that. Does the fan game start popping up when you type about the series or whatever?
Also, not to interrupt you or anything there, FP, but I just basically bombed the shit out of the Capitol building accidentally.
Congratulations.
Yep.
Accidental regicide is the best regicide.
Now Jack Ryan is the president.
Oh god.
And he's got his Secretary of Commerce, and that's it. I think that was Dead of Honor by Clancy.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like. Cooked Auto's the Clancy whisperer, unfortunately.
But yeah, I think that's why they took out AM2R.
Yeah, AM2R was definitely because like they were straight up working on a competing product. And the most recent one, the whole Super Mario 64 online thing, that one was actually because the guy was straight up making money off of it. Like he had a Patreon for ROM hack development,
hacking.
And that is hella illegal.
You really shouldn't do that stuff, no. But at the same time, they didn't take down the project. They haven't told him to stop developing it. They just took down his Patreon. So the question is then, what message are they sending? Are they sending you can keep doing this because it's kind of legally gray, or what? I don't know.
They didn't take down the project itself because they're not distributing the ROM. They're just distributing a patch and an executable.
Well, but the patch has stuff in it, essentially.
Right. But it's more of a gray area than a pure fan game, for example.
I mean, the other thing, think about it. They are absolutely aware of every single ROM hacking site that does stuff. There's no way they cannot possibly be. SMW Central is one. I mean, yeah, it's tailored to my Google searches or whatever. But even in like incognito and just a blank Google search, no history, you can see S&W Central in like page 2 or 3 at most, or if you just search Super Mario World. So it's like, ROM hacking is well known. They have to know it exists. They have to know that these huge communities exist that do these ROM hacking projects and stuff like that. But they don't. I mean, the site's been operative for over 10 years. They've never contacted us. They've never taken us out. They've never done anything to suggest that they really care. And
That's fair.
I don't know.
I mean, who the hell knows? Maybe it is arbitrary. Maybe it's all based on how angry it makes Satoru Iwata's ghosts.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It could. I think it relates to, is a game coming out, and how popular did something get?
Yeah, so that's probably why, like, the Mother 4 project is probably safe, I guess.
And they've already taken steps, I believe, to... Since basically all it's using is the name with Mother 4, I believe, they've already taken steps, from what I've heard, to make it so that it's like, if they came down, they can just remove the elements that are trademarked or whatever.
Yeah, basically make it C&D proof. No, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That way they can keep working on it. It's like people were saying, like, oh, take uranium, pull out all the Pokemon stuff, and you can make your
Nice
own game
rocket snipe, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, right, yeah, there's a game going on. Whatever.
I know, this kind of turned into a podcast for a little bit there.
Well, I mean, we're flying around, we're shooting missiles, we're blowing things up. I mean...
well, okay, yeah, so we're about, halfway through this, so just to keep track of what we've done and what we haven't done. So we've taken the capital back, we've taken the Air Force base back, we've taken the train station back, we've taken the castle back.
So these are all being done on separate instances, basically?
More or less, yeah, like that, like...
So you...
Like, over the course...
So you basically, you choose, like, 2 operations to do before it moves on with the plot or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you're given a quota, like, you usually it's, like, 2, and then, like, you'll move on to, like, the second half of the mission, but for Liberation of Gracemeria, they basically kick it into high gear, and you have to do, like, 4 or 5 of them.
Okay, but you haven't done 4 or 5 of them just yet, but you're still doing cuts.
No.
So...
Yeah, like, this is, like, 2 or 3 runs of the mission spliced together so that I do, like,
so
I show off all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like, right before it went to, like, the first cut, like, when we went from, like, the air-to-air ones to suddenly taking back the capital. By that point in that run, I had basically cleared the mission.
Okay. And so you were heading into the second half.
Yeah. And so this is, just putting that on hold, and we're gonna come back to that once we're done all the other ones.
Alright.
Yeah. So this one is basically paying off the DJ Z subplot that's been going on throughout the game. Where, we're gonna basically just bomb the shit out of all the Estebakian positions in front of this radio station and get Zed his job back, more or less.
Man, look at all that collateral damage.
Oh god, yeah.
Wonder how many.
Well,
I wonder how many thousands of civilians you've accidentally killed.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, it's an ace combat game. We started with Cypher committing war crimes across an entire fucking country.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, and plus this is the shitty part of Gracemeria too. Nobody gives a shit about the old town.
I see. So you're making sure to only shoot at the non-gentrified parts of town. I see how it is.
Wow.
Also, yeah, because I am splicing like several runs together, like, you will hear certain lines being repeated, even though, like, they're, like, meant to be, like, a one instance trigger in a regular run of the game. So, like, basically, like, they're gonna recapture the train station, like, about 3 times, and, like, McKnight and Donnie are, like, gonna find that fucking bank tunnel 3 times, and...
Garuda 1 launched missile.
we approach the half-hour point, let's all just take a moment and relax.
I was gonna say, we've got to let the game do the talking for itself at some point, and then no one
And
says
then
anything in
nothing
the
said
game either.
anything, yeah. Perfect timing.
And
There are a lot of people, having played Samus Returns, obviously making comparisons to AM2R at this point. And some people saying, AM2R is better than Samus Returns and stuff like that. And, honestly, I feel like, yes, they're built on the same game premise, but in many ways I feel like they're not really as comparable as people would think.
Yeah, no, they're way different.
Yeah. Funny enough, AM2R is basically the Zero Mission style remake of Metroid 2 that everybody anticipated Nintendo would eventually do.
Yeah.
But Samus Returns is really, honestly, a completely new Metroid game, just with the premise and trappings of Metroid 2.
Yeah. It's almost, if it had a bit more story, it would almost feel like they were trying to mix classic and Prime style.
Maybe.
Almost.
But yeah, I think they're different enough that you have to, in some ways, consider them as different games. Like, you can direct compare certain things. Certainly. I have myself. Because, the Metroid Queen is still, final boss, essentially. And, you still go around killing Metroids and things like that. But the way that they're all achieved is slightly different. Not to mention just the mechanics. Full free aim is a huge thing. I can't believe how well it works. I really like it.
And I'm pretty sure the level design is radically different to come.
It absolutely is. It
You have all
absolutely
these
is.
new abilities.
Yeah. Well, even AM2R put in new abilities, but the design of the world stayed pretty true to the original. But yeah. Honestly, just play both of them. Play both of them, enjoy both of them for different things.
They're both good in their own ways.
I think personally I like the Metroid Queen fight in AM2R better than the one in Samus Returns, but I like fighting the individual Metroids a lot better in Samus Returns than AM2R. So,
Yeah.
you can like both of them. You can
shit!
compare the
Why
two
do
of
they
them.
do so much damage, though?
Samus Returns is hard. But I don't know if that's just because everything hits like a truck, or if because the game's actually hard.
I'm seriously beginning to understand why the title tag for the LP is "You Died."
Yeah.
Cause, whoo boy.
Yeah. I probably died a good dozen times in it, or more.
Watch out! The enemy has
I died twice to the second Metroid because 60 damage this early in the game is kind of a lot.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah. The new game's fun, AM2R is fun. Play them both, enjoy them both. Make comparisons if you want to, but I think they're pretty different in a lot of ways. Anyway.
And that concludes our discussion on Metroid Prime, Samus Returns, AM2R. Who gives a fuck?
Yep. You can tell Crow didn't have anything to say, because he didn't say anything for the last 5 minutes, or whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, Metroid is, one of those series where, once I'm finally done LPing everything I want to get done, I'm gonna have to go through and actually beat.
Or you can just watch my LP of a couple of them.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
I mean, Crow does it for us at the start of all of these updates anyway, so whatever. I'll get it
Pretty
mid-update
much,
too.
yeah.
Anyways, going back to the game, I feel like for as large scale and epic as this mission feels, it really is kind of missing a super boss of sorts here.
Now, maybe it's just because he's stitching together a bunch of stuff here, but it kind of feels a little boring? I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm not playing it and I don't have to, run around and countermeasures and all that stuff on my own or anything like that. But
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, this is the climax, but this mission gets very long in the tooth.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a reason they give you an hour to do it.
And also, yeah, like, another reason why I'm doing, like, these kinds of cuts is because there are 3 different start points to the mission, and I think this is the only one of these, like, missions where, like, they give you multiple start points where the characters will say different things at the start of each one.
they really built this one up to be the big, important main mission, didn't they?
Pretty much, yeah, so now this one is the one where we've got to provide cover for the sea fleet as they move in and take the city from the water.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so this is, basically where you go up against, like, basically the entirety of the Estebakian fleet that's remaining in action.
The Stowies really messed up our
And,
city.
like, I do actually really enjoy, like, this part of the mission in particular. Mainly because,
Once again showing the Ace Combat 4 influences. This is basically Invincible Fleet Part 2.
more or less, yeah. And also because, like, I like the Marigold Captain as a character, too. Like, he's kinda like Anderson Light, in a way, from Ace Combat 5.
Yeah, he's no Snake Pit, but he's good.
Oh yeah, Snake Pit is everyone's favorite.
I mean, you can't fault the guy. He's so motivated. He's just so eager to help you kick ass.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like, yay! Let's go commit war crimes, everybody!
It's like,
Nothing
yeah, no,
new
like,
there.
Yeah, dude is the only person brave enough in the entire world to, just take an unarmed, like, E767 into a combat zone and just fly, like, right alongside you like he's your damn wingman.
If it's unarmed, what is he even doing there?
He is actually basically, like, you can see, like, sort of on the screen there, like, there's a little counter called, like, ESM,
Yeah.
and that's your, like, electronic support, and, like, when you go into these, like, blue circles on the map that, like, certain allies are, like, emitting, like you see here, level 1, level 2,
Okay.
and it goes up to, like, level 3, like, that basically makes your missiles more accurate.
Sure.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Are they
like,
spotting for you or something?
I honestly don't know what the hell the explanation for it is. It's like...
You have friends, your missiles are more accurate.
Pretty much, yeah. It's Persona at this point. Like. But yeah, like, Snake Pit is like that, but he's an air unit, so he can literally go anywhere that you go, and, like, he's just a big flying ESM generator for you. So that's why everyone loves him, because he makes the game easier.
Nice. He's basically R2-D2. Stuck in top
More
of
or less,
an
yeah.
X-Wing.
If you want to see it that way, it makes sense.
Yeah, except trying to hit the repair button on that was impossible. We've put an R2 unit in your thing, but you can only use it when you have exactly 5 HP left, or whatever it is. I don't know the numbers. Any more or any less, it doesn't work. And if it goes less, you're boned. I mean, if you can hit it perfectly, it was a full repair of your ship's shields.
Nice.
But more often than not, some fucking TIE bomber just flies in and wings you in the side, and then you both blow up.
Again, I'm thinking back to my time in, like, X-Wing TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, where it's like, oh, you can actually repair your ship? Luxury!
Yeah. It's not on every ship, it's only on the X-Wings and the Y-Wings.
Yeah,
Because they hold R2s.
Yeah, it's basically like, okay, like, you can take away from your weapons to recharge your shields, but if your hull's damaged, fuck you.
Yeah, Rebel Strike was a lot of fun in that regard because you could actually unlock a TIE bomber to use, and it was really neat because besides their bombs, well, TIE bombers are actually in the game useful in space because instead of lasers, they just have homing missiles as their primary.
Oh, yeah.
It's just incredible. A lot of fun missions you can do like that.
Because it's like, yeah, like, again, in like the X-Wing series, it's like, yeah, like, you want to take a TIE bomber if you're going up against capital ships because, like, again, those
Just
things
bombing
are
runs
just, like,
on the capital ship, right?
Yeah, but the trade-off is, yeah, it's got no shields, no hyperdrive, and, like, if someone sneezes at you, you're dead.
No shields on the bomber? That's not right.
Yeah, no, that's canon across, like, pretty much all the
not-
Lucas games.
Not the Rogue Squadrons. They have more shields.
Really?
Yeah, they have more shields than anything else. It's the Interceptors that have no shields.
Yeah, and that's consistent in the X-Wing games, too, like
Yeah.
the TIE Fighter, the TIE Bomber, TIE Interceptor, no shields.
Nah, the bombers have
Like-
shields so that they can do their bombing job.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you've got to get to, like, the TIE Defender before you get to, like, TIEs with actual shields.
I think those
And a
existed in
hyperdrive.
Rogue Squadron 1. The TIE Ds or something
they're-
like that. They were this weird
Yeah.
shape.
Yeah, they got, like, they were the one everyone loves because they got, like, the 3 panels on them, and, like, they were basically, like, the overpowered monsters, really.
Yeah, they were like some advanced thing. Of course, at the same time, by the time they showed up, you had the access to the V-Wings,
Yeah.
which didn't show up in anything other than Rogue Squadron 1.
Man, some of these ships have way too much HP.
Oh god, yeah, well, that one that we took out, that was an Iowa-class battleship, so, you know, largest warship ever designed, yeah, probably deserves a
Got a
bit
little
of
bit
HP.
of plating.
I love the
Also-
fact that not Yugoslavia has, like, exclusively American ships in its fleet.
I mean, we sell shit all the time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, Canada is basically flying, like, an entire fleet of Russian ships, too, for some reason.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like, the Marigold is a Kirov.
Nice.
We really, really wanted to use real-world designs, but we didn't want to give them real names.
Well, it does kind of make sense in a way because Emmeria literally is just, like, directly north of Yuktobania, which is not Russia. So, like, you'd think from, like, a world-building perspective, like, they've had some kind of trading relationship.
Aren't there, like, hundreds of countries in Ace Combat World?
Kind of.
There's a lot.
Like,
I know.
I think... Yeah, like, if you went by, like, just the arbitrary lines on the map, there's probably about, like, 50 or 60 of them.
Okay.
But, like, only, like, 10, maybe 20 if you push it, have actual names.
Yeah.
And the games
And-
usually involve involve 2 or 3 of the countries fighting at
Yeah,
random.
at a time.
So when are they going to make a game where the whole world goes to war?
Who knows? That might be 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that could be 7 because you got, like, Osea, which is not America, going to war against Erusia, which is basically, like, I don't know, fucking Helgan at this point in terms of, like, its amalgamation of, like, every fascist state in the world.
Enemy Aegis destroyer sunk.
But yeah, I think this might be it. This might, yeah, that's our, there we go, our last operation.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I would say if Belka is, like, not Nazi Germany, then Erusia is probably more, like, not the rest of the Axis, pretty much.
Yeah, it was kind of like Franco's Spain, what
Yeah.
I've heard of.
Hang on right is the third switch point, right? Spare me the commentary. I'm doing the driving here. Anyway, there's a little tunnel up ahead where they keep building supplies. There's a dummy wall at the end of it with the tunnel redundant.
Also, yeah, at long last, our Kelly's Heroes homage gets paid off.
Central Bank.
Da 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 da.
That's the A-Team.
Close enough. Whatever.
Forgive me, Ludmilla. I failed to bring you happiness.
Strigan 12, bearing 250. All instruments check out. Let us begin. Gentlemen, I do not believe a lady on Earth would be able to resist us now. All pilots listen carefully. Change your courses to 90 and leave the battle zone. Avoid engagement and fly as far as your fuel allows. I will handle the Garuda team. What? You can't be serious! Your deaths will achieve nothing. You must live to ensure the future of our nation. Besides, half the female population is waiting for your return. But wait! I will not allow this! Wait! I am shutting down communications. Strigan team, break formation!
Enemy forces throughout Gracemeria have been eliminated. Mission accomplished. We've got our capital back.
We finally did it. We've got our city back.
And we only had to destroy all of it.
Are you getting it? It's not over yet.
Who is this?
The real war has just begun.
Who the hell is this? What are you talking about?
Corrupt governments and hard lands are no longer worth fighting to protect. There's only one thing worth protecting now.
Unknown aircraft approaching.
Well, hello there, totally not Pixie.
Also, like, if you're playing this, like, if you're actually using the Nosferatu itself against Pasternak, like, basically going into, like, a mirror mode fight with him, you could totally snipe him with the railgun and kill him as he's doing his monologue.
That's amazing.
Oh god, yeah, the EML is so overpowered.
I'm just
in
imagining
this game.
Kamek popping in, oh my! And then running away.
Okay, so, FP, you were talking about a super boss fight.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
okay.
It's, yeah, basically us versus an entire fleet of drones and the great flying D-bag of Estoslavia, Isla Pasternak.
Okay.
Enemy at 6 o'clock.
Basically, we are gonna break Tosha's heart here.
So they actually bring back this boss fight for Ace Combat Infinity, except in that one it's even worse because all the drones have lasers instead of just machine guns.
So yeah, this fight has a couple of quirks to it. Immediately, as you can tell, yeah, Pasternak brings a fuck ton of drones with him to basically screw with your targeting system. He's also got an electronic countermeasure system on his plane, which it switches back and forth between him basically, like, yeah, throwing up like a negative ESM field, or just outright canceling your lock on him and going into stealth so that if you're using, like, holding down, like, the Y button to, like, basically follow him with the tracking camera, yeah, it'll automatically just switch to, like, a UAV, so you lose your lock on him.
And
Nice.
despite all that, he's still not anywhere close to as much of an asshole as Markov was.
One out of special weapons.
And he also, like, he doesn't have the railgun launcher in this one, thank God, but he does have the advanced multi-missile where he basically, like, you can see him flying around right there where, like, he launches a Macross missile massacre at you, and if even one of those missiles hits you, you're dead.
Wow.
Yeah, you know how one of your special weapons is launching 6 missiles at once? He launches 12.
Just gotta be twice as good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that, like,
His missile dick is twice as big.
Yep.
pretty much, yeah. Of course, yeah, like, once you, like, actually unlock the Nosferatu for yourself, like, it pretty much trivializes the game because,
Because
yeah,
it's an OP plane.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
And-
those special weapons are hella broken in your hands as well.
And, like, they actually put out, like, a DLC skin for it that, like alters its stats where like it actually makes it more stable, and it was specifically designed to be used with the railgun so that you could just railgun snipe things more easily. And of course, if you download that DLC skin, you automatically have the Nosferatu in your inventory when you start even a brand new game.
Oh yeah,
I didn't feel like actually playing the game.
I mean, it's good for speedrunning.
I'm playing it for the story.
FP, you have come to the wrong game if you're playing this one for the
Well,
story.
if you're using that plane, you may as well be. From what it sounds like.
Yeah, because like there is like a semi-achievement in this game, like it's basically like a bragging rights medal called Quicksilver, where it's basically, okay, beat the game in under 2 hours and 15 minutes, and like the basic online strategy for it is basically just, okay, get the Nosferatu, use it.
Lock on.
Because yeah, like you get like a stupid amount of ADMMs with the Nosferatu, and it's basically, yeah, like you can clear about half the map's worth of targets like in seconds with this thing. But, oh, we've got him down to literally one shot left, so that instantly kills all the drones for some reason.
Sure.
Yeah, and it nerfs all of Pasternak's other abilities too, so now this basically just...
Line up and
kind
hit.
of.
Yeah, you're just fighting
less,
a normal
yeah.
plane at this point.
Yeah, it's just, okay, joust with him now. Let's remake the end of Ace Combat 0.
I feel like they should have given him the railgun for this part.
Same, honestly.
Like, just for this phase.
And, like, it doesn't even change, like, even on the higher difficulties you go to. Like, it's the same fight. Like, it's just... Yeah, you stand more chance of just getting punked by him.
Yeah.
But there we go. Get fucked, Isla. Get fucked.
Has he been dogging you this whole game?
No, this is the first time we've encountered him. Oh yeah, like when I say Ace Combat 6 drops the ball in terms of its story, it drops it right into a fucking black hole.
Talisman!
Yep.
All threats have been eliminated. Our people are rising up.
So yeah, basically from our perspective, like, we just killed some random asshole who wanted to, you know, just fight us for no reason at this point.
Yeah.
Whereas in the storyline, like, we've had a couple of sequences where it's like Pasternak's like, oh, my whole reason to fight is to take out Garuda Team. And yeah, no, it's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Emmeria, it's finally ours again.
I like how they were like, our people are rising up. I'm thinking, what, out of the ashes of the city we just destroyed?
Well, Talisman, it's been some journey. That's our finish line right down there, boys. My house. I think you'll like my wife's quiche. And don't forget a bouquet for my daughter.
Gracemeria is finally free. The occupying Estavakian forces have been wiped out. Great execution of this mission has handed us a clear overall victory in the war. We're still taking light resistance in a few limited areas, but it's only a matter of time before we have complete control of the capital. Our officials should start drawing up a ceasefire agreement, as they've made preparations for a meeting with the Estavakian leader. Good job. You two are a part of history now. Your actions will be remembered for generations to come.
Hell yeah.
Because we write the history books, right?
Alright, well, thank you very much for watching Let's Play Metroid Samus Returns.
Yes.
All right. The vault is on the other side of those crosshairs.
Hobbs bomb, take aim!
Screw this war. We're gonna live like kings.
And fire! knew Donnie wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but I never imagined he was this stupid. For all we know, this tunnel could be off by a damn mile. But it doesn't even matter. We've got a mountain of genuine treasure right here in front of us.
So, now what?
Now what, he says. If my calculations are correct, I'd say it's too big to put in our damn pockets.
I was picturing the city to be a darker, more depressing place, but nothing like this. The people look cheerful. Some are even smiling. It was all about to make perfect sense.
Testing 1, 2. The war is over. I repeat, the war is over.
The people are learning to smile again. Matilda. Matilda!
Mommy! Mommy!
And finally, I was reunited with my daughter.
My angel! Mom, dance with me.